Well, as promised, let's put focus on the Mumbai real estate market. A lot is happening here. Property registrations in Mumbai this year so far have surpassed the last year's figures, and 2022 has emerged as the best year for the city in a decade for real estate registrations. Also, we have spoken about that big bid that has come in for Dharavi Redevelopment Project, and it has been given to Adani. So let's discuss this and more on the Mumbai's real estate market. Gulam Zia, Senior Executive Director at Knight Frank, is joining us now. Gulam, good afternoon. Thanks a lot for joining us. Well, before I speak to you about the big registration figure, I have to talk to you about the Dharavi Redevelopment bid, which is won by Adani. It has been in talks for almost 2 decades. What is your outlook on this? What kind of hurdles do you see here, and how optimistic are we this time around about this big redevelopment project?
Well, Dharavi has its peculiarities. Let's understand, we always keep boasting about biggest slum in Mumbai, the world's biggest slum right over here. The problem is it is extremely dense a development. The kind of numbers of people staying there, and also it has its own commerce. It has huge business, a lot of small scale industries operating from there. So there are a lot of those nuances which were to be taken care of before taking that step towards the development. And the biggest problem there was density. Because you can't create a 100-story tower and put up a potter who's right now doing his pottery work over there on 70th floor and expect him to bring his pots down. Half of them could be broken. So a lot of those issues have always been tagging along with the development. That density thing was at last conclusively solved recently when the railways gave a large chunk of their land and have tied it up with Dharavi development. So now the density issue is sorted out. So going forward, when Adani is coming in now, I assume a lot of those issues are behind now. Only thing they need to be very careful about is the social fabric of this, the whole Dharavi settlement, where a lot of these issues do exist in terms of not just what I spoke about is how would you settle the businesses, but also nuances that it's actually a complete township in a small location. How do you manage the requirements or expectations of the people who are staying over there for decades? Is going to be the big challenge. If Adani can manage that, it's going to be a smooth sail for them.
Okay, exactly. Gulam, it's probably going to be one of the largest redevelopment projects in the world. So yes, it is going to come with its problems when it comes to density and the rehabilitation process itself. But just give us a sense in terms of what the larger plan would be in terms of the redevelopment, according to you.
Look, I've been watching this project for almost about 15 years for various developers. We have advised them about it. To me, the biggest problem, as I said so far, was redevelopment of the existing people over there. Would you shift them elsewhere and then bring them back after 5-7 years? That's the biggest problem. Most of them who are staying over there will not be happy to relocate somewhere else. So in situ rehabilitation is required. The transit rehabilitation is the key. So here it is. If you have a large chunk of land, which as I said earlier, coming in from the railway side, you can make temporary tenements over there and shift the people who are staying over here in those temporary tenements, clean up the entire land of Dharavi where it exists today, develop all whatever business plan that you have accordingly, you develop them, and then bring these guys back, and then you could get that land available for free sale component that you can make your money upon. So that complication remains. So that temporary tenement relocation was the big challenge, and the way I look at it, at least that challenge will be taken care of, and you will be able to do in situ redevelopment right there instead of shifting these guys over to some other location for 4-5 years. So that is a big stumbling block that I was looking at for last so many years. That behind, as I said earlier, possibilities of we seeing the whole turnaround of Dharavi is much brighter today.
Okay, so those are some positive aspects of this redevelopment. What about joint developments? Do you expect that is something that will happen for this particular project? Because Adani has bid around 5,000 crore rupees. The net worth that the authorities have put out would be around 20,000 crore rupees. It will require huge amount of investments here. Do you think companies like, Prestige Estates, there are a lot others who have been talking about interest in redevelopment as well. They'll all come together. There could be some sort of joint venture or joint development project here. You think that's a possibility as well?
Well, the scale of the free sale component, because that's where you will make money and, spend on creating redevelopment for the existing tenements. So the free sale component is the key for the success of this project. And that is going to be huge. And your success will completely be hinged on how soon you capitalize on that free sale asset, which means you will have to really develop it at an absolute fast pace. And then the possibility then emerges, as you're talking about, if you bring in other developers also to collaborate with you, and a couple of them coming together and creating this real estate piece together can make it much faster a process. So the possibilities of that happening exist. But then knowing Adani, their plans are ambitious, extremely big. They can, mop up resources, etc. So if they want to go all alone and develop that entire thing, and let's not forget, it actually abuts the most famous business CBD of India, which is Bandra complex. So Dharavi actually abuts it. So it's very, very prized and highly prestigious lands in close proximity to BKC, which will be opening up after Dharavi Redevelopment. So whether you are going for JVJD or doing it all by yourself, it's ultimately Adani's call. And as I said, if you need quick cash, you need to really tie up with a few other people with maybe JVJD or whatever.
We're just running out of time.
But if you have the wherewithal, you may want to do it yourself.
We're running out of time, so we want to, pack in more. And I think when we say pack in more, we want to talk about the Mumbai real estate market and the kind of interest that we've seen the entire year and in the month of November as well. One of the things which was debated was whether or not we are seeing, a rise in the demand, in the prices of the properties as well, not only the demand. So how much have prices increased according to you? And what is the kind of demand that we're probably going to see going into next year? Is this kind of fervor going to continue?
To start with, let me just quickly say a word or two about the demand. And, about 4-5 months back, when the interest rates started shooting up, home loan interest I'm referring to, there were concerns that real estate may not be able to sustain this. And in fact, somewhere in September, we did see a record-breaking September transactions in Mumbai in spite of Shraddh Paksh in that period. So there were a lot of hopes that perhaps the buyers have taken in their stride the home loan increase, etc. happening. But then the Diwali period was a kind of, something which gave us concerns. October didn't see that good a movement. But November, we are back with a bang. About 15% rise, not just over September, but 15% rise almost on the last year's November 21 as well. So overall, there is a conviction that in spite of the home loan interest rate increase, the buyers are still not disheartened. So the transaction volumes are going on. On the other side, your question was about price rise. Let me also tell you that the price rise we are not observing as much. And that perhaps is the wisdom that the developers have gathered over a period of time, that increasing the prices a bit too much can actually throw the affordability out of the window, and the buyer may still run away. So not increasing the price is a wise decision, and a nominal 4-5% increase, which is all right, linked to the inflationary trends, is what is being observed. So your point, do we see huge amount of price rise? Well, that's not happening yet.
Okay. All right, Gulam, take your point on that one. So not seeing price rise as of now in the Mumbai market. So that's good for consumers, of course, for sure. Thanks a lot for joining us and giving us your take on a variety of issues which are impacting the Mumbai real estate market. And for now, we'll step into a short break. On the other side, we'll focus on the November auto sales numbers. They are coming in and we'll get you an update on that one. Stay tuned.